Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal and back with another stream. A short one. It's not going to be a long one, but we'll be covering a lot. We'll be taking a look at the latest on Kai Havertz. If you're just coming home and you missed the day's news, Kai Havertz has officially basically agreed. There's been an agreement between Arsenal and Chelsea, and we've already gotten a here we go from Fabrizio Romano. So we'll be talking about the latest on Kai Havertz, as well as the latest on Jurian team, and that is looking most likely to be our second signing. Also, updates on Declan Rice, Thomas Partey, Jorginho, and Albert Sambi Lokonga. And in fact, the one that we are going to start with is Kai Havertz. Let's start with Kai Havertz because it's the one that has been done. So if you're just joining and you've not really seen what has been going on throughout the day, we've reached an agreement with Kai Havertz. He will be a national player. According to reports, the medical was scheduled for today. So I don't know how long it's going to take, whether it's today and tomorrow, and then how long they'll finish to do all the other things like photos and stuff like interviews and everything. But for Arsenal to announce it is still going to take a couple of days. But that is our first signing of the transfer window. I'm happy that we've gotten it done because the more, because I've seen people saying hopefully it takes time because they don't want him at Arsenal and all that. But Arteta wants him at Arsenal. So whether we want him or not, or whether we wish that it takes time so that it doesn't happen, they're still going to try and get him to Arsenal. So that is still more time being taken away from our time being taken away when we could have been using that to work on other players joining Arsenal. So I'm happy we've gotten that one out of the way. That creates more space for Arteta to work on other deals. And it's always good to get the first signing through the door. When you get the first signing, you can start relaxing a bit, not that much. You still need a few more players, but you can the pressure of not signing anyone yet, that disappears. So Kai Havertz is a done deal. Arsenal and Chelsea have agreed on a 65 million deal. I'm hearing that I think 5 million will be in add-ons and the other will pay in 3 installments or 3 seasons. So the structure, I don't think we'll get to know it unless the likes of Fabrizio get some news from inside. It could be 40 million and then 5 million the next 2 seasons, or it could be divided equally 20 million across the next 3 seasons. We'll probably get to know about it later on. But Kai Havertz is the first Arsenal signing, and that one is going to be it's going to be an interesting one to see how he fits at Arsenal. The next video that I've already recorded is going to be how he fits in at Arsenal. And we've been told that he can play different roles. And at Chelsea, they didn't really know how to use him, or they say he didn't really have a position. But if Arteta has actually seen something in him, which he clearly has, because 65 million, to use 65 million on a player, you clearly have seen something in him. So let's see how we fit in terms of that. But that is a done deal. First signing of the transfer window. It's only 1 week into the transfer window and you've gotten one deal done. And the moment you get one deal done, the others will follow quickly. Which one is more likely to be the next one? Well, it's Jurian Timber from Ajax. According to reports, we are close to an agreement between 40 to 45 million euros, which will be absolutely amazing money to pay for him, because I think he's actually worth more than that. If you're going to get him like one good season at Arsenal, that could rocket up to like 70, 80. Like that's how good this buy could be. And he's very young. He fits into our age bracket, the kind of players we're trying to get. And in terms of ball playing ability, will not feel the difference like when Saliba got injured and then Holding comes in. You feel the difference like in technique and all that. Or if Ben White gets injured and then you have to bring someone else, or if let's say Bellerino's there, you would feel the difference in terms of technique. But for Timber, if he comes in or if he starts, for him, there's a chance. For Havertz, 65 million, I feel like he's going to start more than he's going to be on the bench. For Timber being 40 to 45 million, we have to wait and see. I feel like it's going to be well balanced. There's a chance that he could start instead of Ben White. There's a chance that they could rotate. There's a chance that one of them could play in the Premier League and the other in the Champions League. There's a chance that he could help out Saliba in the centre-back role. Or will he be playing in midfield in some games? Will we play a back three and then ask Zinchenko to push forward or Timber to push forward? It's going to be interesting to see how Arteta uses him. But we're going to get a deal done for Jurian and Timber very, very soon. This will probably be our second signing of the transfer window. It came out of nowhere, but we've quickly got it done. I heard that Arsenal did not really want it to leak out. They didn't really want people to know that they're targeting this player, they're working on a deal with this player. But at the moment, just like Havertz, Timber's told Ajax and their new manager, I think they're getting a new manager, that he wants to be at Arsenal next season. He's already made up his mind, just like Havertz. He really wanted to be at Arsenal as well. So it's always a good thing that most of these players want to join Arsenal. And a lot of people are asking, why are people wanting to join Arsenal? Havertz wants to join Arsenal. Mudryk was basically crying to join Arsenal. These other players, Timber is trying to join Arsenal, and Declan Rice said he heard about Arteta's project and he really wants to join Arsenal as well. Well, there's been some news in terms of that. Maybe this is why everyone wants to join Arteta. Well, according to reports from James Ollie, a lot of players talk about improving as a result of Arteta's coaching and attention to detail. That is such a good thing to hear about your manager. Now, some of you I know still don't like Arteta, but for me, since day one, I have never doubted him. Even when we were losing to Burnley at home and losing to all these teams, I was like, I can see something in him. Was it because we won an FA Cup a few months after he joined us? Maybe that could be the reason. But I could see something from the first, and I was like, there's something there. He won us the FA Cup in a few months. In that season, we were winning a lot of the big games that we were never winning before him and all that. And I could see something. And since then, especially last season, you could see a lot. And after we got the documentary from Amazon, you could see how good he actually coaches a team. So maybe that is why players want to join Arsenal, because of Arteta's project. Many people don't like that word, but his project is quite good. And according to James Ollie, a lot of players talk about improving under Arteta. Now, why am I bringing that up? Xhaka improved a lot under Arteta. He improved a lot. Like, Xhaka was gone. Like, no one liked Xhaka at Arsenal. But last season, he was one of our top players. In terms of Premier League, he probably was the most improved player last season. Now, could the same happen to someone like a Kai Havertz? Because Havertz is coming from a team that was poor. He's coming after a couple of poor seasons. So what if he comes to Arsenal and improves the game, his game like Xhaka did, improves his game like Ramsdale did, and all those players? Then we'll have a very, very good player in our hands. So let's hope the likes of Havertz and Timber join us, and when they join us, they improve under Arteta, because I'm very happy that it says coaching and stuff, because you could see, like, in the documentary, it takes everything to detail, like his team talks and everything. He doesn't mess around. Maybe some of that he picked up from Guardiola, which is not a bad thing to do. So picking up stuff from Guardiola as well, formation, tactics, all that. He usually stresses that this is the kind of guy that I feel like he usually dreams about football at night. Like, he can't sleep. Like, if he sleeps, he'll just think about the next game and all that. You'd say many managers do, but not every manager takes everything into detail. They will focus on their own stuff and be like, this is what you're going to play and that is it. But this guy will focus on everything. So that is a good thing to hear from leaking out of the team. So let's hope that Havertz comes in and ends up the same as the likes of Xhaka, improving in their game. So let's see what happens in terms of that. Another player that could be joining Arsenal, as we know, is Declan Rice. According to recent reports from Sky Sports, positive negotiations continued West Ham over Declan Rice. The clubs are working on a fee and a structure. So I think at the end of the day, we'll end up paying something like 97, 98 million, and they could agree on that. I have also heard that Man United all of a sudden could also start wanting him, but I'm not right about Man United. We already told I'm not right about Man City, so obviously I'm not right about Man United in terms of getting Rice, so that should be obvious. But you were told a few weeks ago by Timmies and Ticks that Rice was approached by Man United before the season ended, and he told them, or his dad told them, that Rice has already decided to join Arsenal. He has no interest in joining Man United, and we are both in the Champions League. For Man City, it's different. There's still, the reason I'm saying 92%, because there's always that slight chance that Man City can want a player and they could negotiate very quickly and get it done. But for Man United, I wouldn't be too concerned. Obviously, he knows there's the likes of Casemiro and all those kind of players. There's no guarantee you're going to play. And according to reports and according to everyone's beliefs, we have a better project than Man United right now. There's still a bit of uncertainty in terms of who's going to buy Man United and all that. So I think he will have a better time at Arsenal. So I'm not worried about other teams wanting Rice. Of course, they would want Rice. He's one of the best midfielders in the league. So Rice, that's the latest. The negotiations are ongoing. I feel like we'll hear a breakthrough tomorrow, Friday, or something like that. It won't carry too much into next week, I don't think. So we'll hear Arsenal have agreed terms and all that, and maybe wait for his holiday to do the medical. But in terms of agreeing with West Ham, I think they're not going to let it carry on for too long. I think by Friday, Saturday, maybe even tomorrow, we'll hear a certain breakthrough from the likes of David Ornstein and Fabrizio Romano. This is a player I really wanted to get done. If Rice gets done, let's say tomorrow or Friday, and he becomes an Arsenal player, that relieves us all. Like all the fear that people had. Rice is now an Arsenal player. Havertz is now an Arsenal player. We can now start taking time on the other players. people will be relaxed. People will not get comments like Arsenal will finish 7th next season. Why is Arsenal signing this one and that one? No, if we get our priorities done, it will be a sigh of relief, because usually the past few seasons our priorities never join. There's a lot. We can mention them every single time. Mudryk, we can mention Awar, we can mention Tielemans, we can mention Vlahovic, we can mention Douglas Luiz. All of them never really got done. But this time it feels different, maybe because in the Champions League or maybe because he competed for a title. So let's see what happens in terms of that. I will come to your comments. But one player that Rice could be replacing is Thomas Partey, unfortunately. Every day it's looking likely that he's not going to be here next season. So I think it's time to start accepting it. And according to Fabrizio Romano, I understand that Saudi clubs are prepared to pay 40 million in installments to Arsenal for Thomas Partey. His concrete is a concrete option for Saudi. His exit is possible as revealed on Sunday. No decision yet on player's side. He also has approaches from Europe. No new deal, no deal talks at Arsenal. So we'll talk about the Europe approach and the new deal and everything. But 40 million in installments to Arsenal for Thomas Partey. So if you're watching this on YouTube, I put a poll. If you're watching on Facebook, you can comment and let me know. How much do you think we don't want Partey to go? We don't want, but he's going to go. It's time to accept it. So how much should you be trying to get for him? Minimum. Should you be getting 30 million minimum? Should you be getting 40 million minimum, 50 million minimum, or 60 million minimum? Or do you think anything more than that or less than that? Do you think 20 million would be enough for Thomas Partey? Now, he still has 2 years remaining on his contract. He's still 30 years of age. I still feel like he can have like 2 good seasons in the top flight. So that is why I'm thinking maybe the reason he's leaving Arsenal is not really because of his performance on the pitch. Maybe it's because of the outside matters and Arsenal not wanting to be involved and him potentially wanting a break from everything. I don't know. It could be one of those things. But in terms of his quality, we know his qualities. He's always compared to the likes of Casemiro in the Premier League in terms of midfielders. Maybe the only midfielder who's maybe clear of him, you can say, is Rodri in the Premier League. But he's definitely in the top 3 in terms of defensive midfielders. And losing Jacques and Partey in the same window, obviously, it's not ideal. But since we have to lose him, or since we are losing him, 40 million, I don't know, man. I would say 50 million. Personally, I'd say 50 million. And again, in installments, what happened to all that money that Saudi Arabia had? Have they given all of it to Chelsea? Come on, we also need 50 million. Like, we also want a piece of the pie. We also want to eat some of that money. We can't take only 40 million. So you guys have the money, and you're buying one of the best defensive midfielders in the Premier League, one of the best Arsenal players the last couple of seasons, a player who's done a lot previously at Atletico Madrid and at Arsenal. He's not only going to give you a good passing range, he's not only going to give you a solid midfield option, he can give you a couple of bangers from midfield, a couple of fantastic goals from outside the box. He can do all that and a bit of control in midfield. So this is another guy as well who's going to bring you, if Saudi Arabia want fans, these guys are going to bring you fans from Arsenal, from Atletico Madrid, from Ghana, from Africa in general. It's going to bring you a lot of fans. So you have to take all that into consideration. So 40 million, we need more than that, maybe 50 million. But since he's 30 years of age, do you think 40 million is enough for him, or do you think we need to be getting more money for him? Now, it's not only Saudi Arabia that wants him. As we've seen in that, there's also a European club that wants him. That European club, as confirmed by Ignacio, AS Monaco are interested in signing Thomas Partey. So AS Monaco also interested in him. Now, can AS Monaco pay that money Saudi Arabia are willing to pay? I don't think so. That's the thing. I imagine AS Monaco would want him on loan, or they'd want to give us something like 25 million. Now, that is not enough. So I also don't want us to sell him to Europe, to a team that we might end up facing, like in the Premier League or in the Champions League or Europa League, wherever it is. I don't want us to sell him to a European team. If he's going to Saudi Arabia, good for him. Go get the money, and he also doesn't play against us. So I also want that for him. And he's also going to enjoy himself there, basically chilled and relaxed and all that, and enjoy your money over there. So AS Monaco wants him, but for me, I tried to get into Saudi Arabia. I don't think AS Monaco can give him more money than the Saudi Arabia guys. But if they can, why not? 50 million, we can start talking from 50 million. And the other thing from that is the installments. With the Saudi Arabia trying to pay it in installments. Now, I don't really have a problem with that, because ourselves, we are paying a lot of our players that we're about to sign in installments. Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, we're paying a lot of that in installments. So I guess it's the thing these days. Back in the day, 20 years ago, I don't think there was anything like installments, unless we never usually used to hear about it, because Twitter wasn't there back then, and Fabrizio Romano wasn't there back then, and there wasn't any leaks about players and all that. But someone like an Ashavin, I think we bought him for 15 million. I don't think we could get him in installments or anything like that. But these days, because the market has gone crazy and obviously COVID impacting the market, that is why players have to, some deals have to be done in installments. So let's see what happens in that. But since he's a 30-year-old approaching his end, the end of his career, maybe 40 million wouldn't be too bad, but I'll come to your comments and see what you guys have to say. But I want to finish all of them today, and then I come to your comments. He's not the only player who could be leaving Arsenal. Albert Sambi Lokonga could be following suit, and according to reports, Albert Sambi Lokonga is set to leave Arsenal this summer. He would go on loan if Arsenal can't find a buyer. But I'm really hoping we can find a buyer, because if you can't find a buyer, that should show you, that should tell you something, unfortunately. Now, I will keep repeating myself. Does Lokonga fit into the Arsenal system? No. Is he a completely bad player whose career is finished at the age of 22, 23? I also don't think so as well. As I always say, I feel like he was thrown into the deep end. We bought him. You're supposed to be a backup for Partey, and then boom, Partey got injured, and we had to play Lokonga away at Liverpool, away at Man City, and that is suicidal. If you put Lokonga up against De Bruyne, what would you expect? You'd expect him to be absolutely dominated. And on top of that, we put him in the number 6 role where he was playing by himself, because we don't play in a 4-2-3-1. Lokonga would fit for us in a 4-2-3-1, maybe. And during preseason last year, because I think preseason last year when we were playing Chelsea and those guys, I think, and Orlando and all those teams, I think he scored like 3 goals or something. He actually had good attacking returns, and that is when he was playing the Xhaka role. He was going forward a lot and all that. So if you're playing him in that is fine. But I don't know, maybe they're counting their losses in terms of this deal. Can we get a profit on that, or can we get the same amount of money we paid for him? That's the good thing of signing younger players. I remember when you signed Lokonga and Tavares, I said the good thing with signing these younger players is we can sell them. If they don't work out at Arsenal, we can sell them. It's not like players like Willian. If he doesn't work out, you're finished, because he's already 50 years old. These guys are young, so you can actually sell them. So Lokonga is looking likely to leave, whether it's on a loan deal or permanent transfer. What would you guys do? Would you sell him on a permanent transfer, or would you try and loan him out and give him one chance, one more loan deal, and then see how he does? Let's see what happens with this one. But that is according to SR Collins. Let's see what happens to Lokonga. Again, not just Partey, not just Lokonga. Those are not the only midfielders who could end up leaving Arsenal, unless this is true. For Jorginho is, according to Nizar, Jorginho is willing to snub Sarri and Lazio's interest to stay at Arsenal. Thomas Partey is being pushed towards the exit instead. Declan Rice plus one more are being discussed. So Jorginho wants to actually stay at Arsenal. You know, whatever Arteta is giving these guys, everyone wants to play under Arteta. I even myself, I want to go to the Emirates and play under Arteta. So that is good. Now, if we sell Partey and also sell Xhaka, I don't think and also Lokonga, I don't think we're in a position to also sell Jorginho, because we are going to be completely ruining the numbers in midfield. All of a sudden, we'll need to buy 4 midfielders. So we also need those numbers in midfield. So since Partey is leaving and Xhaka is leaving, even if they weren't, I'd be happy to keep Jorginho for at least one more season. I think he signed an 18-month deal. Not as a starter, no. The experience, and also coming in, playing in the Carabao Cup games, FA Cup games. And he's a player who you can bring on even in a Champions League game, last 20 minutes to control a game. He can do that for you. Turn to a 4-2-3-1 and just have him controlling the midfield with Declan Rice in there. That would be perfect as well. So I don't think Jorginho is a player that you have to sell. And even if you are to sell him, how much are you going to get for him? You know, unless we are getting the 15 million back, which I don't think we're going to get. I think it's worth it to just keep him until the end of his contract. Or if he plays really well for us next season, you can extend the contract. And when you bring in players like, if Lavia, for example, comes, someone like a Jorginho is important in teaching someone like a Lavia all about Premier League football and playing in that midfield role. And him rejecting one of his favorite managers, Sarri was with him at Napoli and he was with him at Chelsea. Basically signed him at Chelsea. So him saying no to that and wanting to stay at Arsenal, maybe seeing a good project, maybe seeing that he can actually win a Premier League title next season, something he definitely wants to do. So it's going to be interesting. I wouldn't sell Jorginho. Definitely 100% keep him at Arsenal, and then you can let the others go, the likes of Lokonga. I would still try and keep Partey if possible, but it's looking very unlikely. So we are losing 3 or 4 midfielders: Partey, Xhaka, El Neni probably, and Lokonga. So those are 4 midfielders we are losing. So numbers, in terms of numbers, we need numbers. That is one of the positions that we didn't really have numbers. Partey had to play every single day. So Jorginho helps in terms of numbers on the bench. So I'm happy to have him there, and also the experience. And he's never really a bad player, you know. Jorginho was like third in the Ballon d'Or. Was it last year? He was third. So you cannot really finish third in the Ballon d'Or if you're a terrible player. So let's see how. And also another thing, between January and the end of the season, he didn't really play badly. And I remember his performances against Chelsea and his performances against Aston Villa. Yeah, if you count his strike against Aston Villa, he kind of prolonged our title race. So if it was not for him in a couple of moments, maybe we'd not even be in the title race until we faced Man City. So let's see what happens in terms of that. Let's quickly recap that before I come to your comments. If you're just joining, Kai Havertz and Arsenal and Chelsea have agreed the deal for Kai Havertz. According to reports, he was scheduled to do a medical today and tomorrow. Let's see how that one develops. In terms of Declan Rice, talks are ongoing, progressing positively, which is good news. We might end up paying 95, somewhere between 95 and 100 million to get him. In terms of add-ons and all that structure is also one of the problems with that deal. The second signing that we could be making is Jurriën Timber from Ajax. It came out of nowhere, but it's going to be quickly done, around 35 to 40 million euros. This would be a very, very good signing, a very beneficial signing, especially how we dropped off after Tomiyasu and Saliba got injured last season. You need someone like a Timber in your team. Thomas Partey is likely to leave. Saudi clubs want to pay us 40 million in installments, 40 million euros in installments. So let's see if Arsenal is going to accept that, or they're going to reject it and ask for more money. I think you can get more money for Thomas Partey, but I will come to your comments and see how much money you said we should be getting for him. He's not the only midfielder linked to the move away. Lokonga is also could also move out of Arsenal, according to SR Collins, either on loan or either on a permanent deal. And also Jorginho wants to stay at Arsenal. So I'm happy that I'm actually happy. I never thought I'd be happy with the Chelsea player staying at Arsenal, but I'm actually happy with that Jorginho is staying. I don't want us to lose too many midfielders. I don't think there's that time and that budget to buy 4 or 5 midfielders when you can just skip Jorginho and focus on getting a backup for Saka instead. I think that would be ideal. So that's the latest. Let's see what you guys are saying. Let's go to the top. There's like 200 comments. Okay, that's a lot, but I'll try to get to most of them. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you for always being here. Tactical says, is it a bird? Is it a planet? No, it's Glenn Kitely positivity, man. I'm not on the levels of the likes of Ty and Julian. I'm not on that kind of level, but what boosts my positivity, as you want to call it, tactical, is because of what I've seen from Atletico from last season. So whichever player wants to buy, even if he wants to bring back Alexis Sanchez, I'll be like, you know what, maybe you can get the 2015 Alexis Sanchez back. So let's see what happens. It wasn't true. I have no problem. Good evening, Adisa. How are you, Joshua? Timothy says very impressive. Watching from Lagos says Abu. That's awesome. Hopefully we'll be getting back to his normal form like before joining Chelsea, says Shema. Hopefully as well. The Leverkusen Havertz is the one that we want. That was an incredible Havertz. Havertz who got 38 goal contributions in 2 years for Bayer Leverkusen. Hopefully we can get the same at Arsenal. Let's get him, but no way Partey should, I guess you mean leave, says Stanislas. Havertz is very good in aerial balls, good player. From the stats, he had the most aerial, he won the most headers at Chelsea last season. He's not, he's better than someone like a Saka in our team. I mean, Saka even never scored a header, maybe one. Martinelli and Jesus did score a few headers last season, both of them, but I think Havertz is better than them in terms of that. So it's not the tall striker that I wanted. I wanted people who similar to like Giroud and Dzeko and those kind of players. But if he's better than what we have in terms of that, maybe he can help. Let's see. If Arsenal can get this deal done, it will be a good signing, says Latif. Because of the manager, I think he got this club, says Lee. Very likely. Ake says good news. Musa says trust the process. John says Jorginho shouldn't go. I 100% agree that I would definitely want him to stay. I don't want him to go anywhere, at least for one more season. At least I think we can get a few good games from him this season. Because even recently, when we played against Chelsea not that long ago in May, he had a very controlled midfield performance against players like Kante, and he's one of the best midfielders to ever play in the Premier League, N'Golo Kante. So I think Jorginho did very well against him. Obviously, there's some games that you can say maybe it's slow and you can't play him. Mostly usually turn to De Bruyne, because playing against De Bruyne is not easy. Many people would struggle, but some games that you need to control, you're 2 goals up, 20 minutes to go, throw in Jorginho, let him control the game. I would prefer him than someone like a Lokonga in midfield. I just got this club back, says Lee. Please let us sign Rice now, says Musa. I really hope we can get it done quickly. That would be a major signing that, like, I'm sure people will be very excited when you get that one done. He saw how Jorginho has improved under Arteta and Arsenal, says Basse. I think you're talking about Havertz. Is it true that Havertz is an Arsenal player? He's pretty much an Arsenal player. Let's just call him an Arsenal player. After we've already gotten a here we go from Fabrizio, and few details from David Onstein as well. 2 of the best journalists is basically done. I'm very happy that Havertz soon will be going for medical and also announced as an Arsenal player. I'm happy. I want it to be announced quickly so that you can go to other deals. It's better to do that rather than just keep on talking about Rice and keep on talking about Havertz. It's better to get them done and then look at other players. Katuma says, I respect more my coach Mikel Arteta, but I want keep one of the 2 midfielders, either Xhaka or Partey. I think Xhaka is already gone. To Leverkusen. We're just waiting to sign Rice, and then Xhaka will be gone. He already told players goodbye. The difference with him and Partey, we are told that Partey has not yet made his mind up whether he's staying or wherever he's going. So I don't know. We'll probably hear more details on that. But I don't think we're selling Partey because of his footballing abilities. It has to be something off the pitch. It's not about priority. It's about the coach and his tactics. Then game plan, says Bobby. 50 million minimum, says Ismail. 35 million, says Lee. This is in terms of how much you should be getting for Partey. John says 50 million. Amos says 60. Benjamin says 50. Kwame says 80. I mean, this market right now, people are asking for 80 and 85 million for Mason Mount, probably. But also, I think age factors. I think so 80 would be too much for Partey because of the age, and also because of injuries and stuff like that. I don't think anyone would pay something like 80 million. 60 million, says Adebayo. Dati says 60. Moses says 70. Bassi says 60. Henry says 80 million euros. That's a lot. Caleb says, let's try to keep Partey. I think he will stay. I'm confident, says Lee. I'd be happy if he stays. I'm very, very happy. At least 50 million for Partey. It's unfortunate he wants to leave, says Babu. Oh, I don't know. I don't think we know the exact details in terms of that. I don't know if it's Arsenal who want to get rid of him or if it's Partey who wants to go. We'll probably hear about it in the next couple of days. If he's going, let's just get a good fee for him. We can use that money elsewhere. Letting Xhaka and Partey leave will not be a good idea, but all the same, I just think Arsenal are doing the right thing, says Tope. Let's hope they're doing the right thing. I can't wait to see Declan Rice and Timber and Havertz. I think it's a good deal for Ghana, says Dari. If you get those 3 players and then someone like I don't know, is it possible to get Diaby? I don't know, but if you can also get Lavia, we are approaching 9 out of 10 out of 10 transfer window, and we rarely get to those kind of stages and to kind of levels. We need left back. We need left back for 5 million for Partey from David. We need left 45 million for Partey. Thomas Partey, 50 million, says Ezekiel. 50 from Kingsley, 45, 50. So many of you are between 40 and 50. I agree that personally I would want 50, whether it's 40 million and then 10 million add-ons. I don't know what add-ons you can include there. Mudiba says 45. Sinclair says 50. So it tells you how highly we rate Thomas Partey. That's how good he's been for us. So that is why we are selling. We want to sell him for that kind of money. Remember, even you don't even have to. How much do you think you can get for El Neni? Like, I don't think we'd be saying 45 or 50. We probably 5 or 6 million or something, because he's not had the impact that Partey has had, and we never really signed too many world class players, and maybe Ozil and Sanchez, and Partey was the closest that we've gotten to signing like a world-class player who's done it in the top level for a different club. He had won a few things at Atletico Madrid, so he was like world-class status before he joined us. So it's rare that we sign very, very good players like that. So he's had a good run. Let's see what will happen with him. 50, 45, 50. Martin says my only worry is how do you lose best midfielders if Partey leave? Let's talk to Xhaka to stay at least. I don't know if that is possible. I definitely want one of them to stay. If it was my choice, I'd keep both of them actually. But it feels like Xhaka had already planned to leave this season, and I'm glad he's ended his Arsenal career on a high. Now, it's not a good idea to replace two of your best midfielders from the previous season, but unless we're really replacing them sufficiently, then maybe you can understand. We'll get to know more about this one. In the first 10 games, after we've watched the first 10 games, we'll either be saying, oh my goodness, why did you sell Xhaka and Partey? We'll be saying, oh wow, these players have actually had a bigger impact than Xhaka and Partey. Let's see. 59 million, says Kwame. I don't think selling Partey is a good thing unless they will be better replacements, says Musa. I would really want Sambi to stay. Interesting, says Gerald, because we are playing more games, we can't risk all the players. That is why we need to keep players like Jorginho, and that is why we need them to bring in players like Lavia. I think if all of them are in the team alongside Rice and those kind of players, I think it would be good. I feel like they're going to still go for another midfielder, maybe on loan or something. Now, that midfielder will not be Gundogan. Gundogan has gone to Barcelona, so that is another one that we need to put an X on. Tielemans is gone, Gundogan is gone, so they have to look for a different one. We are good at talking about buying big name players for weeks, but we end up not buying any of them, and I hate hearing it every day, says Maxwell. Maxwell has had enough. Maxwell has had enough. Gabriel says if Partey is going, no matter what, you should bring Moises Caicedo. I really like the player so much. Brighton are very tough to negotiate with. We'll have to pay them 120 million, and we're not going to go anywhere close to that price. If Partey is targeted by Saudi clubs, then he should be sold more than Neves. Yeah, exactly. Neves went for 45 or something. We should be getting more for Partey than Wolves are getting for Ruben Neves, as Muhumuza says. A loan on Lokonga will be a perfect time for him to develop, says Amy Gold. Partey's our concrete midfielder, and we are not pleased to sell him, says Lambert. Maybe sometimes you need to take very, very tough decisions, unfortunately. It's not great to sell one of our best players, but we just don't know what is going on off the pitch. Maybe it's something that we cannot control. Why Thomas Partey, not Zambia, Mohamed El Neni? Well, the others don't have any issues off the pitch. Money for Lokonga and El Neni, but you can get more money for Thomas Partey. How are you, Anu? I don't know why we want to sell Partey. Let's wait and see. We'll probably get a reason in the next couple of days. It would be great to hear out of nowhere. Like, I would scream like a new signing. If we hear out of nowhere that, you know what, Arsenal decided to keep Thomas Partey, it will be like a new signing. I'll literally scream. Peter says, thanks for the good work you're doing for us. I appreciate it. My question is, a culture in Arsenal that they only ask for players, but none is being. But we will buy the players. We are 21st June today. By the time we get to 30th June, we'll be the team that has done the most business. Like, no one, like in terms of activity right now, there's no one who's getting the bids in and negotiations ongoing like Arsenal. Like, Chelsea have not made any movement to their players. I know they're signing a player from Villarreal. I think it's Jackson. Man United have not made any business yet. So by the time you get to the end of June, Peter, you'll be reading your own comment and you'll be like, why was I worried? Like, we'll have like 3 or 4 players by then, while the other clubs have 0 players. So I think in terms of movement, it's only 1 week into the transfer window, and we've signed Havertz. We are 85% done with the Rice deal. We are 85% done with the Timber deal. We are progressing with the Lavia deal as well. We're getting a couple of. Niles is gone. If his players being sold, Jack and Partey, we are probably going to sell them this month. So we are doing our deals quickly, and that is what we want. So by the time we get to the end of the month, you'll be laughing at the other clubs because we'll be way ahead of them in terms of deals. If Arsenal is selling Partey 50 million is okay, says Anu. I think 50 million for Partey ain't bad, says we'll see. Any update on Cancelo and it's still staying at the Emirates. Yesterday we were told that there's that Ateta actually wants Tierney to stay. Now again, just like Partey, if we hear that Tierney is staying, I'll be so happy, man, because that basically means we don't have to worry about our defense anymore. If Timber comes in and Tierney stays, our defense is complete. Tomiyasu, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, Kivio, Timber, Zinchenko, Tierney, like our defense will be complete. We'll not have any more worries about our defense. So I'd really love Tierney to stay. And I also don't want us to sell him to a rival. Like, by rival, I'm counting Newcastle there. So I don't I don't want us to sell him to a Newcastle, because I'm imagining Newcastle with Trippier on one side and Tierney on the other side. They'll be good. They'll be very good. You're going to be making them better, so I don't want that to happen. And in terms of Cancelo, Man City are definitely going to sell him, but which club is going to join, we still have to wait and see. Arsenal are still interested. The only thing is money. Man City are not going to give you Cancelo on a cheap. And another thing I've also been thinking about is Man City have given us Jesus and Zinchenko, and we almost took the title away from them. Are they going to really sell another player to us, or they'll be like, nah, we're not going to give Arsenal any more players? So if they actually give him to us, then we'll know that Guardiola is bored. He just wants to improve other teams so that he has competition in terms of the winning titles. Watching you from Finland, says Kelvin. I appreciate it. Helsinki, that's the capital, right? Helsinki. I always hear Finland is cold. As for me, Partey can go. Wow, interesting. Says Tope. And Arsenal can go all out for Lavia. The guy is better than Caicedo in terms of long pass with his 2 legs. Tope wants Partey to go. He's okay with Partey going, and he thinks Lavia is better than Caicedo. So it's always great to have different opinion. In terms of overall ability, we have to say Caicedo is better, but it could be better because Lavia is younger, but the age gap is only 2 years. But it could be better because Lavia is cheaper. Caicedo is a lot of money. So I don't see a window where we spend 60 million on Havertz, 100 million on Rice, and then you still spend 70 million on Cancelo. It's 90, 100 million on Caicedo. Is going to be hard. And maybe that is why they pulled out of that deal, because they knew they're going to take time dealing with Havertz and Rice and Timber and all these guys. And if you had another focus or some a percentage of our focus on the Caicedo deal, it's hard to do all those deals at the same time, unless there was unless we get everything done, and then by July Caicedo still not yet been signed, then maybe you could see Arsenal going back. Partey, 60 million, says Joel. Robin is watching from Uganda. I appreciate it. Abir says, I don't like this boy from Chelsea. Arsenal must be serious in the market this season if they want to do well next season, says Udens. Many people would agree with you, but Ateta does not agree with this opinion. So let's see what plan he has for him. Clifton says, hi, Glenn. I like your show. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Jorginho must stay by all means. I 100% agree with that. Joe, watching from Lagos, keep on doing a great job. I'm enjoying your program so much. I appreciate it. We'll be here every single day. The transfer window is just started. It's only 1 week in, and there are a lot of businesses going on. Partey should not go. I feel you, Jose. I feel you. I was also in tears when I heard that he could be gone. I was like, no, I wanted all of 11 players to stay. We just needed backups, but he's definitely going to be missed. I will remember him as an Arsenal player. You know, players like Karlstrom and players like those kind of players, we don't really remember them as Arsenal players, though Karlstrom is an Arsenal legend. There's some players who you're like, this player had a huge impact. Like, I still remember everything Fabregas did for Arsenal, everything Van Persie did for Arsenal, everything Alexis Sanchez did for Arsenal. I think I'd also remember Partey. I'd remember his goals against Tottenham, against Nottingham, his impact in midfield. I'll definitely remember Partey as an Arsenal player. It's going to be sad, but hopefully we get this kind of money for him. Chesa says 60, Samuel says 70, Ruben says 47.50 from Prince. Arsenal need to act fast on Rice, Timber, and Romeo Lavia. I think Lavia will be the last one. I think Timber, between, as I said yesterday, I expected at least 1 or 2 deals to be done this week. Havertz is done. Between now and Sunday, Timber will probably be an Arsenal player, and Rice will be, hopefully that deal will be done as well. So if we can get 3 signings within the first 10 days of the transfer window, that will be perfect. If Arsenal can sign 65 million as the first signing of the summer, it shows better days in the Emirates, says Sunday. Yes, there's that as well. If Arsenal is, this is the first time, like, the reason why I'm excited as well is obviously because you're back in the Champions League and the kind of players are being linked to. Usually we go nowhere near this kind of prices, as Sunday says. We would have been talking about 25 million, 30 million, 35 million. Now that we're back in the Champions League and competing for the Premier League title, that is where we are talking about. That is why we are talking about this kind of prizes, 65 million, 100 million. We usually used to watch from the back seat. You used to watch Chelsea and Man City buying players for 100 million, and you're like, maybe that could be us one day. Right now, as an Arsenal fan, like, whatever anyone says, this is me as an Arsenal fan. Like, I don't care what anyone has to say. Like, I'm hearing opposition fans talking. I'm like, okay, we'll see who'll have the last laugh. Keep laughing at Havertz, but you don't know who's going to be his manager. This guy is going to be Havertz's manager. Let's see who's going to have the last laugh. So I'm in a very confident kind of mood right now. Partey is aging. Time to create a concrete midfield with Rice and Caicedo, says Deng. Why can't we get Onana or Milinkovic-Savic, says Dominic. I like Onana. I remember when he played them at Goodison Park, there's one time he ran past Jacques and Odegaard and was like, oh my goodness. He's good in terms of energy and just that midfield grit is very good. But something that Onana, a position or a tactic or a technique that Onana cannot fit at Arsenal, our players right now, the kind of team we are building, we have even a goalkeeper. Even Ramsdale can play in midfield. We can have Timber playing in midfield. We can have Ben White playing in midfield. And all our midfielders technically gifted. Even the ones we are selling, Partey, Xhaka, they're very good on the ball. They can hit a long pass. They can shoot the ball, all that. Now, that is where you have to ask yourself, does Onana really do that? Can Onana do for you what, let's say, Havertz can do for you in that role, or what Xhaka has been doing, or what Partey can do? Because if you join the Arsenal midfield, or join the Man City midfield, or join the Brighton midfield, you have to have a very good passing technique. You have to be a mixture of different things, not just midfield great. Back in the day, Onana is good in terms of just holding the midfield together. But what if he gets the ball? What happens when he gets the ball? Does he give the right pass? Does he give the right long pass? That's the only thing that worries me about someone like an Onana. All the players that we are signing are technically gifted. That's the thing. Even defenders, even goalkeepers. Balogun, Lokonga, Fabio Vieira should all go on loan. Partey stays. He's Ayuba. Balogun. I'd be happy with Balogun going out on loan in the Premier League. But then again, we're hearing that Nketiah is also open to leaving. So who's going to be our striker? Let's wait and see. Fabio Vieira, I don't want him to go anywhere. I want him to stay. Lokonga, I'd be okay. I'd even be okay with selling him for a certain price. Another one is Tavares. Let's see what happens with Tavares. I have a feeling that Tavares is not going to be sold. Let's see. Why is that Senedu not selling Mohamed Elneny instead of Thomas Partey? I think for Elneny is because he's injured and just being nice to him because he's been nice to Arsenal. That is why. But obviously now we are approaching that stage where we're not going to be sentimental to any player. I think we're going to see him let him go, but I don't think it's going to be now. I think it's going to be the Elneny deal could happen on September 1st, on the last day. I don't think it's going to be happening now. I concur with the selling of Thomas Partey, says Melil. Please don't sell Partey, says Akpan. When are we going to get Rice? I'd say in the next few days. I don't think it's going to pass a week. Isaac says, as a Ghanaian and Arsenal fan, I would like Partey to stay because we need squad depth to compete in any competition. I don't have excuse this season should he fail. And we Arsenal fans will never forgive him if he fails this time round, says Isaac. Sell Partey, use the money to buy better and injury-free players, says Pake. So Pake is happy to sell him. A lot of people don't want Partey to go, so this is going to be a sad one to let go. Elijah from Nigeria, I don't want Partey to leave. Chokon watching from Liberia, still trusting the process. Mark says, hi Glenn, Mark from Capsabet. If we let Partey go, then Arsenal is not serious and we'll never win anything EPL or Champions League trophy. We need experienced players. We are just like Chelsea, rebuilding all the time. Let's see what happens. Just want to confirm the Community Shield, which was rescheduled August 9th. What time will it be? I had to change the time. I think they said something like 4:30 UK time. I think they said something like 4:30 UK time. So I think that's the same time as most of West Africa and stuff. I'm not sure about the timings because there's people watching from Finland and Liberia, Nigeria, and Kenya, and UK and USA, so it's different. We also have Angelos from Cyprus, so it's different to know what the time is. But let's go according to UK time and convert it by yourself. I think it's something like to do so 4:30 UK time or something PM. But that is far. I'm not looking at it. Unless you want to go, we'll do some analysis for you. How about Kai? Is it confirmed? He's already an Arsenal player. Arsenal are not confirmed it, but the agreement is already there. So Kai Havertz will be an Arsenal player. Thanks for the update, Vlad. We are apparently appreciative. Thank you, Deezy. Partey should stay. You are making a very big mistake, guys, by selling him, says Junior. Partey should stay for at least 3 seasons. Wow. Mark doesn't want 1 season. He wants 3 seasons. Is Rice the best option? I genuinely think so. I think it's either him or Kaiser. I don't think there's anyone else on that level at the moment. The others who can do that are Partey, Casemiro, and Rodri. And we are not going to get Rodri and are not going to get Casemiro. So I think the next best, if you're going to sell Partey, it's Rice. I would like Arsenal to keep Balogun, says Chukwuka. Good evening, Glenn. Hope Arsenal should get the best signing this summer, says Partey. I think we're going to have the best window. I'm very confident. Mario says if Partey should go, we need Caicedo along with Rice. That would be amazing. Money is always the problem. But I'm sure we're going to get to the midfielders. I don't think they're going to just sign Rice. I think there's actually going to be Lavia coming in, another player on loan or on a free transfer or something. So let's see what happens. Emmanuel says, tell me about Timber from Ajax. This one will be done in the next couple of days. Arsenal are close to agreement with Ajax, 45 to 50 million. It's going to be a very, very good signing. And we already count Havertz and Timber's Arsenal players. In my head, Timber, Rice, and Havertz are already Arsenal players. I'm already planning how we're going to use them next. And so that is all the latest in terms of today. There's always Arsenal news popping up. So tomorrow, be sure that you're going to have like 2 or 3 more stories to get through. In case you haven't watched the latest videos, make sure to check YouTube and also Facebook, wherever you're watching from. And the next video, if you're watching on YouTube, I've already done it. It's about Havertz and the 5 positions he can play for Arsenal. And you'll also get it on Facebook. So thank you for watching. Make sure to hit the like button, follow the page, subscribe, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.